Okay, so I'm doing some rust repair on the bottom of this Chevy van door, and I got my patch panel built and had it all fitting really nice. It was laying flat. There's no had all the right crown in it and everything, and ran into a bit of an issue when I went to tack weld it in. As soon as I started tack welding it, the tire panel puckered in about 1/4 of an inch all the way through, which is just really not what I was hoping for, but seems sometimes things just don't always work out the way you want. Now, normally this wouldn't be such a big issue, but I have no access whatsoever other than this tiny little hole here, and my arms are not that long. So what happens when you go to weld something is it expands slightly and then it contracts, and it contracts more than it expands. So what's happened here is wherever I've tack welded it, it started shrinking and pulling itself in, which is fairly common on low crop panels like this, which don't have a lot of strength. And the way I would normally correct that if I had access is I would do a hammer on dolly technique over each of the welds, which would stretch the metal back into its original shape. But because I don't have access, I don't have the luxury of that, so I've had to improvise here. And what I've been doing is I took the unispotter and I'll weld about 3/4 of an inch at a time, and then I'll weld a stud on and pull it back up with a slide hammer, which is kind of helping to stretch the metal back into its shape. And so far it seems to be working fairly well. So I'm hoping that it continues to work well, and if you're watching this, that means it has. If you're not, well, then I ruined this door. But I guess we'll see how it goes. Really don't normally like using the unispotter, but I guess in this particular case it's going to work out well, and we're not going for a full metal finish. We're just trying to get something that doesn't need a 1/4 inch of Bondo on it. So yeah, we'll get going on it. Yeah, working a little bit at a time. I focus too much on one area that I just end up with a whole bunch of lumps all over it, which means I'm just going to have more problems to deal with. It's better to raise a little bit at a time. Try to let each weld cool until it's the same temperature as the surrounding metal. This is only supposed to take about an hour and a half to weld, and now it's going to take me about 4 hours, so it is what it is. Do this with a MIG welder too, but I find that these studs don't stick very well to a MIG weld, and the TIG weld's a lot softer weld, so you actually have a chance of working a little more without the weld cracking. I actually get more heat distortion from TIG welding than a MIG welder. So normally on these blind panels I would use a MIG weld. But when it does start to work, the TIG weld is just a lot easier to bring it back around. Okay, well, I'm getting into the center of the door now, which is the weakest point, and so I really got to be careful now. Every time I weld this, I can see the whole door wanting to pucker in about a ½ inch. So one wrong move and I'm gonna end up with a huge mess. But you can see just how much this thing's pulled in just from tacking it. And then so just gonna keep at it. I think once I get, past about here, then the rest will be fairly easy, but right now we're still in the danger zone. Okay, we got this thing all welded. Almost 4 hours to do the whole thing. But really came out actually better than I expected. So yeah, we're all really good all along here. The small amount of crown in the panel, just as it should be. No low spots anywhere. And straight all across the top as well. Right through the whole panel, nice and straight. So that's really not going to take very much filler at all. So my camera batteries are almost dead, but I'm going to get this inner flange spot welded on, clean up these corners a little bit, give this thing a final once over, and then we'll come back and have one more look at it. Alright, well, here's our completed repair. So yeah, I think that'll be just fine. And for a blind repair without any access, I think that turned out reasonably well. So could have gone quite horribly wrong, as you could see earlier just how badly it was puckered in. So some of the ways that you could avoid that sort of thing happening, which obviously avoiding it is the best way to repair it, because then you don't have to deal with it at all. Panel fitment is key, so you want your patch to lay perfectly flat and even with the existing metal without having to force it or clamp it or anything, because if you have to force it at all, it's as soon as you put heat to it, it's going to go back to the shape that it was before you forced it. You also want to make sure you have a nice tight gap. I know some people say to leave a gap, but the bigger the gap you have, the more it's going to shrink on you. So you really want to try to avoid that. If you got a nice tight gap, you don't have to put as much heat into it when you're welding it, and it's not going to shrink as much. So fitment is absolutely key on this. In this case, sometimes things just don't work out. But you know, if it does start walking around on you, you're better off dealing with it as you go, rather than getting right to the end, finishing welding it, and then you don't know where the panel started to get away from you. So this way you can see as you go exactly what's happening. And if you go back and watch, you can see I'm constantly checking with a straight edge the whole panel to make sure that it's doing what I want, and I'm making adjustments as I go. Also, with these low crown panels, you know, a lot of guys will say skip around, and you know, that's fine on a higher crown panel with more strength to it. But on these panels, I like to start at one end, weld about 1/2 inch at a time, let it cool, weld another 1/2 inch at a time, let it cool, and work my way across, and just basically chase it right off the end of the panel. If you skip around, what's going to happen is you've got a whole bunch of hot areas throughout the panel, and if it does start to get away from you, then what's going to happen is you're not going to know which area is causing the warping. So you know, you'd have a spot here that's causing it, but your issue is you got an oil can here. So then you're going to start working this area, which is fine, and you're just going to end up making a whole bunch of work for yourself. So always just do a little at a time, monitor what's happening, and it just makes it a lot easier to actually control what's going on. So yeah, I'd like to say I'm glad that this is done and over with, but I have another door to do, and it's in worse shape than the one I just did. So yeah, not really looking forward to doing this, but it is the last repair that I'm doing on this van, so I guess that'll be nice. But I have been putting it off for a reason, because it's gonna suck. Anyways, yeah, hopefully somebody found some useful information out of this.